You know, I
have to be honest with you. I never had a problem with Jews until I met you. And then I was like, now I get it. Every other Jewish person I met they were nice, they were very family oriented, and you just walking around like this Bond villain with your little dog.
Body shaming Jon Lovitz.
You talk about trying to look you in the eye, all I see is the tip of your nose. It's like oil tankers coming into port.
To humiliating him for his character.
And your turn.
I love the "and your turn."
And scene.
I heard your dad didn't die of natural causes. I heard he saw your act and went home and killed himself.
This is Bill Burr at his best.
Whenever you see video of this podcast, you know, well, gee whiz, old Freckles must have a special guest. Well, unfortunately, that is not true today. My guest today is astoundingly mediocre. I've actually been ducking this interview, and he just kept calling me.
Oh, absolutely. Jon out there was hustling harder than a used car salesman on commission. Probably showed up at Bill's house with a PowerPoint presentation and a plate of homemade brownies, just to seal the deal.
Everybody. Jon Lovitz. Jon, wake up, buddy. Buddy. Hey, there we go.
Gotta get some of this 5-hour energy to stay awake for this thing.
Why are you so mean to me, by the way?
Did you hear your intro?
Why can't you just admit how much you like me?
I like you very much.
That was disrespect executed to perfection. The snore alone was enough to leave scars. The final hit? That was pure, calculated humiliation. Some moments fade. This one gets framed in gold.
Well, I didn't think that was going to turn into some Lifetime movie coming out to a...
Yeah, you did. You knew exactly what you were doing.
I knew I was going to pull it off.
I don't think people know that we met through
dating app.
Randy Walt.
Bill swung first, but wow, did he miscalculate. 1 second he's landing jabs. The next, he's flat on the mat, wondering how it all went so wrong. Jon didn't just clap back. He demonstrated a full-scale comedic takedown.
Randy Waldman, who was a great piano player and also your helicopter
instructor, yes.
And I just got off the phone. And did you know, before, I don't know if you know this, but whenever Randy flies with you, he makes out a new will right before.
That wouldn't surprise me. It would surprise me. He always has his hands near the controls when I'm on him.
That song really is something, right? Left me laughing like crazy. Bill walked into the fire and got burned. Fast. Just when it looked like there was no way out, he struck back with precision. A comeback so sharp, it left Jon reeling.
If you lash out at me like that, I just know it's all self-loathing. Okay? And you can come in here with your Tony Curtis haircut and act like you're just the bee's knees, and I just don't buy it. Tony Curtis, there's another guy. There's another guy that went to Norse.
Effortless on the surface, pure panic underneath. Every jab landed clean, but that composure, holding on by a thread.
What, you've been keep looking at your face. You're aging naturally.
They go, the camera adds 15 pounds. Your camera is adding like 100.
No.
Off camera, doesn't even exist.
You know, there's a lot of women that are into that. It's a fetish. They call them pelicanos.
Well, that was a pretty loose ball to hit, and Bill being Bill didn't miss the mark.
What I like,
forward.
Your face has its own neck pillow. It must be nice when you get on a plane.
Well, my grandmother
when you go like
had
this, your neck fat just kind of catches you.
Now Bill was warming up, and the next joke was really something.
You know, I
have to be honest with you, I never had a problem with Jews until I met you. And then I was like, now I get it. Every other Jewish person I met they were nice, they were very family oriented, and you just walking around like this Bond villain with your little dog.
Whoa. Bill Burr surely cranked it up with the usual anti-Semitic jokes. Gotta hand it to both of them. Not everyone can pull it off that effortlessly. Surely Jon wasn't gonna let that slide so easily.
Unlike you, I'm actually friends with the real Jerry Bruckheimer.
Oh, I love when you throw your show business friends in my face. What was Gavin?
You know, the way we...
What was Gavin McLeod like?
Jon finessed that one like a pro, and Bill took the bait without a second thought. Thought he had the upper hand. Adorable. That hit was so precise, it belonged in a highlight reel. Some comebacks sting. this one burned.
Deep down, you are horrible. This is your whole act. Albert Einstein's a genius. What do you think, Bill? I don't. Is he? Is really? He couldn't even get a decent haircut. What's that?
Jon didn't just mimic. He became Bill. The accuracy was unsettling, amounting to an immaculate disrespect. Bill could only watch his own essence being weaponized against him. However, he got over it quickly and grilled Jon in the same way he did.
I'm gonna do your act.
Go ahead.
Why'd the chicken cross the road?
Bill went all in, off-key, off-beat, and absolutely shameless. Jon's face said it all. Pure disappointment. But Bill, he was just getting started. One joke turned into an all-out roast, hitting every target in sight. A comeback so reckless that even Jon had to respect it.
I'm gonna do your act.
Go ahead.
Why'd the chicken cross the road? To get to that kooky other side. How? And the band kicks in. That's what you do, you.
No, that's my act.
Bill swung for the fences and landed a direct hit. No hesitation, no mercy, just pure calculated destruction.
Right, you're a furry. You know, you meet some chick, she dresses like, Yogi Bear, and you guys bang. And then somewhere in there's something about the Federal Reserve. I haven't worked out the second and third acts yet, but just wondering what you think about that.
I like it, to be honest. I think it's very good.
You Beverly D'Angelo.
Jon's silence said it all, teetering between disbelief and a formal complaint. Honestly, that's all he could do at that moment.
Ted Moss.
Yes.
All right.
But your name isn't Ted Lasso. What could it be? Bill Hitler. Something like that. That's just off the top of my head.
It's incredible.
Like your hair. Poof. And your turn.
Bill was too busy laughing to realize he'd just been demolished. Jon wasn't just clapping back. He was dismantling him piece by piece. By the end, Bill was just a spectator in his own roast.
You know, I could go directly to the issues with your father, the dentist, but I think that's below the belt.
Go ahead. Yeah, then I'll talk about your dad who built a hospital and then had you.
Yeah.
Who didn't do much of anything. All right, go ahead.
Your dad's a dentist. Did he forget to teach you how to floss? Jesus Christ.
Jon didn't just land a blow, he finished the fight. 2 minutes of brutal roast, then he pulls out the ultimate kill shot. Game over.
I heard your dad didn't die of natural causes. I heard he saw your act and went home and killed himself. So you wouldn't have to see the second show. And back to you. Go ahead, be meaner. You know you got it in you.
That wasn't a comeback. That was an annihilation.
Well, no, I don't want to be mean. I understand you because it's hard having a father who doesn't really love you. And just thinks of you as, baggage. And
Jon didn't just come for Bill. He excavated his entire existence. What followed wasn't a roast. It was a calculated strike of pure, unfiltered disdain.
I'm
You
just
look
saying.
like an extra in Casino.
Extra.
We need somebody who looks like a degenerate. We need to have somebody that looks like they've never won in their life. I know, Jon Lovitz. Should we give him some
what you
lines?
look like?
We don't want him to act. We want this picture to make money.
Here's a nice.
Stick him in the back. Shut your face.
Yeah,
Stick him in
here's
the
a
back.
movie for you.
You know what? Your nose makes your face very aerodynamic.
Bill wasn't just roasting. He was scientifically dismantling him. Honestly, this sounds more like a project than a comeback. At this point, you're not even laughing, probably taking notes for future reference.
Is it true that your children want to change their last name to Lovitz because they want to be associated with a comedian that's actually funny? And your wife?
Is it
Mrs.
true that you
Lovitz?
haven't bought clothes since 1991?
Dude just went straight for generational trauma. That's not a roast, that's a legacy obliteration. Bill's probably still trying to figure out how to explain that one to the family. Cold. But Bill didn't even flinch, just clapped back instantly, turning Jon into a walking thrift store relic.
Is it true that after the Tropicana closes, they're going to bring you to Treasure Island and then they'll quickly tear that one down too?
Bill wasn't playing games, he was drafting Jon's obituary. Tropicana and Treasure Island? Nah, those were just the warm-up acts before the grand finale. Oblivion. If Jon wasn't questioning his entire existence before, he sure is now. Jon seems to listen patiently, but he's actually prepping his next destructive move.
Is it true that they put you at the Park MGM because that was the only place where they had a toilet wide enough for your
Jon ditched all pretense and went straight for the throat. No subtlety, no grace, just unrestrained chaos. Saying Park MGM booked Bill for plumbing, that's not a burn, that's a full-blown health advisory. But Bill was ready to go straight for Jon's nose again.
You got fired from the Paris because your nose made the Eiffel Tower look too small?
Bill didn't just take a shot. He designed an entire blueprint for Jon's nose. According to Bill, Jon's nose might need its own area code at this point.
I mean, I never heard more silence than, in my life. I mean, I thought you were funny, but clearly the audience didn't. And as you pointed out, I'm an idiot, so.
That was cold-blooded. Jon dragged Bill's entire fan base into it. That wasn't a roast, it was a career execution. Bill might have gone after Jon's nose. Jon aimed straight for Bill's future.
But you can make fun about.
I got offensive
You got a
of?
Jewish nose. Your nose.
I never said you had a Jewish
aerodynamic.
nose. I said you have a... You, Jon Lovitz.
And I'm proud.
You, Jon Lovitz.
I am what I am. I don't, I didn't have a choice about.
Sounds like a battle of the vocal cords. May the loudest screamer claim victory.
You talk about trying to look you in the eye. All I see is the tip of your nose. It's like a oil tanker's coming into port.
Oh,
Yeah.
Your family doesn't love
Yeah.
you.
You know what? Leonardo DiCaprio should be standing on the bridge of your nose going like that.
The only reason your family was supportive is because they were hoping once you played arena acts, you'd give them a bunch of money.
That was a ruthless exchange. Bill tried to land a blow, but Jon just delivered a body shot that had no chance of recovery. It wasn't just a roast, it was a complete dismantling with zero mercy.
I'm glad your blood sugar's through the roof.
Why don't you ask me another question?
You know what? When are you going to lose your first toe from that disease?
When are you going to get wart medicine and just take this thing off right here?
Well, not I know.
In
it
another
bugs
year, you want to be able to see out of that eye the way that thing's growing.
Bill swung hard with the sugar jump, but Jon didn't just dodge it. He turned it into a full-on counterattack. One little mold turned into a ticking time bomb, and suddenly Bill's entire face was on the clock. That roast was a public service announcement.
Trying to get better guests on my podcast. I gotta tell you, Jon, you have definitely been the low point. I've been doing this podcast for a long time, and every time I think like, wow, that guest just laid a egg. You are the new benchmark. Everything you do is great,
Well-
including sucking.
Bill's attempt at a backhanded compliment was a thing of beauty. Half praise, half pure chaos. Insulting Jon like that was a nice touch, but where's the line between high standard and rock bottom? Jon's left hanging, trying to figure out whether to laugh or cry.
Anti-Semitic stuff.
No.
About is
No, it wasn't about your
Oh,
people.
no, 'cause
If you
that's-
could just
no, because that's
you give a
true.
about anything but yourself.
No.
They should have an entire wing in the Museum of Tolerance just about you.
Bill's setup was perfect, and Jon walked straight into a trap. And then, Bill delivered another savage joke. Now, that wasn't just a roast. It was a masterclass in self-serving destruction.
Yeah, I'm
wants to be
sitting
a
back
singer?
and judging you because
I
I'm
know.
older than you.
No, you're
and have
not.
more
It's because you
experience.
actually really respect me and you like me, and this is your
That's
up
all
way of
true.
showing it. Well, why
That's
can't you?
right.
Why you got to be a cunt the whole time?
You're the cunt.
Let me tell you something, you dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Oh, but what did you really
know what
want?
Bill was desperate for a moment of truth. Jon had other plans. What started as a plea for honesty turned into a full-on insult war. No holds barred. This wasn't dialogue. It was a brawl, with words as weapons.
About you being Jewish is anytime anybody goes to call you out about what a asshole you are, you get to act like, oh, it's you're saying that about all of us? No, I'm saying it about you. I wish you had lapels on right now so I could just grab hold of both of them and just tell you how much I don't.
Bill wasn't holding back, just launching into the deepest shade possible. He didn't just roast Jon. He dragged an entire community into it, with pure hands-on hostility. If there was any love left, it got buried under a pile of insults.
I wish that you were funny. To my bones, that's how much I like you. Please, please. And I go through special after special after special. Dying to laugh, wanting to laugh, praying to laugh.
It just doesn't happen, no.
No. Really? This is your whole act? Really?
Jon didn't even flinch. He hit Bill with the most brutal kind of honesty. No theatrics, no exaggeration, just the simple, soul-crushing truth. Bill isn't funny. That wasn't a roast. It was a diagnosis.
I would go there and heckle you, but I love Randy too much. He's the opposite of you. He's a sweetheart. He's a caring man. And he's a nice man.
Very nice.
You know what? And I don't have to figure out how to tolerate him, and he's one of your people.
You know what?
He's one of your people.
That's right.
And he's a nice guy.
Bill didn't just roast, he dug deep, pulling in heritage for the ultimate jab. That wasn't just a burn. It was a full-on lineage insult. Jon's probably still trying to untangle that one. Bill basically called Jon the exception to his own people. Brutal.
All right, Jon, I love you. Thanks so much for coming in. I know it was a
Thank you, Bill. I'm looking forward to coming back next week.
Okay. All right. The great Jon Lovitz, everybody. And his dog.
After all the savage blows and ruthless comebacks, they somehow wrap it up with a smile, like nothing ever happened. Classic move, keeping it friendly after turning each other into a punchline. The video ends, but the scars? Well, those might last a little longer. Make sure to let us know in the comments which moment made you snort the most.